Hey, this is Victor Antonio, and welcome to another Monday Morning Sales Workout for Sales Managers. All right, download the worksheet. You know the deal. Now, I want to talk about upselling, but more specifically, pricing options. Now, in this exercise, let's talk about what happens when you offer a customer two options. Now, we know that when you offer a customer two options, similar options, if they don't know who you are, there is no credibility or trust yet, this is their first purchase with you, more likely they're going to lean towards the cheaper one. So if you offer, let's say, a $150 product and then a $100 product, they're going to lean towards the $100 product to mitigate their risk. That's how the brain works. It's always trying to mitigate risk. If you're B2B, it's the same thing. You got a $50,000 product and you got a $100,000. They're going to go for the $50,000 just to start. Now, what if you want them to buy the $100,000? What do? Do you try to pressure them, sell the feature, the benefit, the advantage? No. You simply insert a third option that's above that. So in other words, 50,000, 100,000, now you want to insert one at 150. And what typically happens is that when three options are offered, the customer will say, well, I don't want to buy the one that's at the bottom. That might not be enough. This might be too much. Let me go with the one in the middle. And by simply offering three as opposed to two options, you shift up your revenues. Now, in this worksheet, let's go through it. I give an example that you're going to use with your sales team, and then you're going to talk through it. I said, let's say 100 people decided to buy, and again, you got two options, a $100 option and a $150 option, right? Here's how the numbers would roll up. 80% of the people, or 80 people, would buy the $100 option. 20% of the people would buy the $150 option. That means your total revenue would be $11,000, right? Two options, 150, 100. Now, let's shift our revenue by offering a third option, and we're going to shift it up. Again, let's look at the three options. Let's say that 20 people buy the cheaper one now. That's $100. 60 people will buy, 60% will buy what's in the middle, and the top 20% will always buy the most expensive one. And if you run the numbers, your total revenue now is $15,000 in this hypothetical situation. So by simply offering a third option, what you do is you shift your revenues up. In other words, most people don't want the cheapest one, so they'll migrate towards the middle, and that's what you want. So this is how you can increase your revenue, in this case, by almost 30% without having to hard sell them. So here's what I want you to do with your team. Have a discussion about, how everything works in the fast food industry, right? When you go to a restaurant like a McDonald's, right? They got three options, right? Small, medium, large. They know that most people will go for the medium. Now, how could you use this strategy? How should you use it with your strategy today in terms of pricing or trying to close a deal? That's the discussion I want you to have with your salespeople. This is a powerful strategy. You should always offer three options when you go in for the close. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.